You might be asking yourself, why is the wall green?
Lizard, lizard, lizard.
Hello, my friends. This is Getty with Georgia Firing Line, and today we're going to talk about a very simple exercise that will show big dividends in your grips, because it's going to show you where the grips are failing and when. This is a modified version of the 50-50 drill with the ball and dummy drill. And what it is you're going to have one round in the chamber of your pistol with nothing in the magazine, and you're going to attempt to fire two quickly. And what you're doing is you're paying attention to the behavior of the gun. So the way this works is on your pistol, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put a magazine in, load the chamber, remove the magazine, put the magazine in your pocket somewhere where it's readily available. Next thing you need is a target, which we have right here with our willing participant. Cool, that's Bob the intern. So you're going to place the target somewhere between 5 and 7 yards. And what you're going to do is you're just going to verify and make sure there's no magazine in the gun, but you do have a round in the chamber. You're going to go ahead and set your grips and set your vision exactly where you want the bullet to go. And you're going to attempt to fire two quickly. The key word is quickly. If you get too wrapped up with accuracy and you try to make these two shots very careful, then you're not going to get the benefit of the exercise. What you're looking for is this. If I've got a great grip on the gun, good posture, I'm letting my vision process the recoil, what's going to happen is when I set the sights where I want the bullet to go and I hit the trigger twice quickly, I should see very little behavior from the gun. Obviously, recoil is going to make the gun rise. We don't care about recoil. I care about it returning, and I'm really paying attention to what's happening on the dead trigger. I'm paying attention to the gun's behavior. One example of what you may find happening is if I press this quickly, the first shot's going to go off without a hitch, the second one's going to drop the gun. That's a good example of what some people call anticipation. I call it your support hands failing you. So we're going to show you what this looks like in live fire. We're going to perform this, and then we're also going to show you the ending protocol to make sure that we're doing things properly. Yeah? So the best part about the 50-50 drill, it's very easy to set up, it's very simple to do, and it's very effective. So I've removed the magazine from the gun, and when you do this, you're gonna make sure you have a round in the chamber. So a decent example, something you should see, is your gun's going to extend, the dot goes where I'm looking, fingers on the trigger, and whenever you're ready, you're gonna fire two rounds quickly. Bang, bang. Now obviously, you've only got one round in the gun, so you're gonna get one bang, one recoil recovery, and then the gun should just go click and float in place. That's what you're looking for. If you catch yourself going bang, drop, that tells us that there's a lot more work going on, and we need to start paying attention on how do we correct that, how do we fix that behavior. So, good example, how to set it up, lock your slide open to the rear, put your magazine in, chamber that first round, take that magazine back out, put it in your pocket. We're now ready to begin the 50-50 drill. Cool. Hopefully you're able to see that. While the gun is reciprocating under recoil, I'm resetting the trigger and getting back on my prep point. I'm shooting from prep to prep, and I'm getting off and on the trigger very quickly. You're gonna notice when you start shooting at an accelerated pacing, the amount of care that goes into your trigger finger is going to change drastically. These are all decisions that you've made before you've even started to shoot the gun. Cool. I'm gonna take this one step further. On that rep, I saw the dot reciprocate under recoil, I saw it rise, and I saw it settle, and I was shooting the streak. My dot was still a line, but it was well within the A box, so we're all good. Set it up one last time. So I extend, finger on the trigger, double click the mouse. Saw a slight rise, saw it torque to the right a bit that time, but the second shot dropped right in. That would have been a really good looking double had I actually shot that. So once you've done this for several reps, when you're feeling confident in your grips and your posture's ability to do their job, now's when you turn it into doubles. So now you're gonna leave the magazine in the gun, and you are going to fire two rounds at an accelerated pace. Do your best to repeat what the grips, posture, and vision are doing behind the gun. That's a very important key thing here. It's the whole purpose behind the test. So I grip the gun, have it extended, two rounds. Cool. Everything stayed inside the A zone, decently accelerated pace. And I'm pretty happy with the gun's behavior. I am seeing that high and right gravitation, which tells me that there's an imbalance going on with my grip pressures, which I need to pay attention to. The pacing on the trigger felt great, my posture was doing its job, and from my perception behind the gun, I didn't see it behaving weird or doing too much weird stuff. So all in all, I call this a win. I'm happy with these results. The 50-50 drill works. I highly recommend that you incorporate it, and those of you coming to Applied Pistol, you will shoot this exercise in class because this is something I've started incorporating in it. We've had great success with it. Thanks for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed this because this is an exercise that will benefit your shooting greatly. And again, it doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of ammunition. If you're a newer shooter, this is a great way to proof in the grip and really feel the way that things are supposed to work. And again, you're not gonna shoot a whole bunch of ammo, so this is great to warm up with. And now for my more advanced shooters, you can also use the same exercise for the same benefit, but of course you can extrapolate the data and you can make the round count 3, 4, maybe even 6 rounds, or maybe throw a transition in there, and you'll be able to see what the grips are doing. And then when you transition over to live fire, you'll be able to see, are you bringing those changes along for the ride? And it makes your shooting better the entire way through. And if you have any questions about shooting better, being safer, or being more efficient with your firearms, make sure you come see us for training. We put classes on all the time, and I'd love to see you guys in the range giving this one a shot. Any questions in the comment section, holler at me. I'm gonna put Bob back here because I know you like him better. My name is Getty. Be safe, shoot more guns, and have a wonderful day.
Lizard.
That was it.
Okay.